What's up, guys? It's Dad Dash Industries back here again with another ride along, and today we're doing a little something different. Out here for, well, kind of the in-between, and today I got a little bit of a late start. Had one of those mornings that just nothing went right, so missed the lunch shift, and there was nothing. The map wasn't read at all for my area. So I decided, you know what, let's do a little something different today and see if we can come up with, see how it goes. So I'm actually in a market that's a couple of markets over from my normal market, probably about a 30-minute drive outside of town. And I'm not sure if I'm going to hang here for dinner or not, but I decided to come over here because it was lit up red. It had like 3 bars busy, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon. So I said, you know what, let's check it out. So I'm on my first order. It's not a bad looking order. $7.25 for 4.5 miles. Now, obviously, my disadvantage that I have right now is I am not very familiar with this market at all. It's a place that I visited before. My sister-in-law lived out here at one point, but it was like 5-6 years ago. It's always red on my map, and I've always thought about, let me come out and try. I've heard the tips are good. I've heard the business is good out here, so I thought, you know what? Let's shake it up. Let's see what happens. So that's what we're doing right now. Guys, what's up? Dad Dash Industries back here again. I wanted to just jump on here while I'm riding to make this delivery, just to remind you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to build a network here, build a community for gig business operators to come to share tips, tricks, strategies. And I want to give you guys a real perspective on what it's like to operate a gig business. What's going on, guys? Dad Dash Industries back here again. Just completed that drop off. So one thing I'm learning is we're in a little bit of a country terrain here. So the miles are a little bit deceiving because of where you got to go. You got to go out on some back roads. Good news is I got an Uber order. I wasn't sure how good Uber or GrubHub would be up here, because GrubHub, of course, my territory is the Hagerstown, Maryland territory. And you have a territory. Now, you can get orders outside of territory, but you only get orders that no one else will take. So sometimes the orders aren't that great. Uber, on the other hand, there's really no borders. I wasn't certain Uber would work up here, but it does. So I got a $13.02 Uber Eats going. It was going 4 miles, but that was before I went to drop this off. So obviously that changes the miles a little bit, and I don't know the area well enough to know for certain exactly what impact that's going to have. What's up, guys? A little update here. So this just turned into a complete disaster. Uber, I swear, their Uber Eats stuff is sometimes some of the worst stuff. And essentially getting a lot of the trouble orders. So just a little pro tip, if you are out and you see a big order, like I just saw $13, it's middle of the day, I'm thinking, wow, what a great order. And then, of course, it really wasn't a very good order. Essentially, the directions inside the app took me to the center of the city, about 7 miles from the restaurant I was supposed to be at. I did end up looking it up on Google Maps. I just got out of the order because I don't even know that the app is going to tell me that I'm there. In other words, it's not going to recognize that I'm there. And I've been down this road before when Uber's apps start to malfunction, and I got basically messed out of the tip. So I just got out of the app, which explains why probably many others are getting the same issue and are then disconnecting the order, and then the order just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until either A, somebody finally goes to the restaurant to pick it up, and that's not even to say for certain that order would have been even in the system at Buffalo Wild Wings. I've encountered that before, especially when an order like this starts floating around. So anyways, long story short, I got out of it. I got a $2.25 1 mile order. Clearly a no tip order. There's not going to be anything extra on this. And it's for Chick-fil-A. And I've never gone to Chick-fil-A up here before in my life. So I went ahead and I accepted this $2.25 DoorDash order. What's up, guys? I just got done picking up that order. It was already ready. This Chick-fil-A's actually got a pretty decent setup. They actually have a designated pickup window for DoorDash drivers, so that is really cool. Got a little even parking lot area for us too. So I mean, I would imagine that's very helpful, especially in rush hour times when it's dinner time and the drive-thru's full, and that's kind of the drive-thru line and everything's in a totally different area, so it doesn't really interfere with the in and out of that parking area. So they've really done a fantastic, thoughtful job of arranging things. Obviously, you know, that doesn't cover up for the fact that I'm doing a no-tip order, and I just found the Buffalo Wild Wings, I guess, that I was supposed to go to earlier, that they took me all the way downtown for. God, Uber. What's up, guys? So I am back here from accepting that order, and you know what? DoorDash definitely didn't reward me. In fact, they gave me a $4.50 offer to go 6.8 miles, followed up by a $3 5.7 mile order. All right, what's up, guys? Dad Dash Industries here. So wanted to go over what's going on right now. So I'm going to head back in the direction of my normal market. It was just dead. All right, guys, Dad Dash Industries back here. So I am back in my market, and thank God I am. I am working on an order now for $9.86. It's a GrubHub order for a pizza place that I do a lot of business with. It's actually not a pizza order, though. It's a sub order. But I am active on all three apps. So I'm heading now. I'm about 1 mile away from the drop-off. I just picked up the food. It was already ready. So good stuff there. What's up, guys? Dad Dash Industries back here again. So went back to our shopping center, sorted through a couple of orders, got a DoorDash offer for $19.50 going 12 miles. Now, that's a lot of miles, but for $19.50, it's an Outback order. It's a big Outback order. I'm willing to do the work. And also, where it takes me to, it's not my favorite area to be, but it's absolutely not a complete bust in terms of where we will end up. What's up, guys? Dad Dash Industries back here again with the update here on things. So delivered that order. Ended up being a $14.50 tip with a $5 base pay. So it actually ended up being, I don't know, I must have read the map wrong, because it ended up being a little bit farther down the road than I thought it was going to be, but it's actually not too terrible. I've had some orders come up this way, and they've been way out in the country, creating a lot of miles to get back. So I'm actually I was right at the tip of the market, so I should be back in the market here in about another 2 minutes or so. What's going on, guys? Just want to jump back in here for an update. So I made the decision here. I'm back in the market, but I am just going to head directly back. I'm on the highway. I'm going to head directly back where I came from. So definitely going to absorb some of that. It was about 12 miles out for the order. What's up, guys? So little update for you there. Had some craziness, man, and luckily I mitigated a disaster that was self-created by myself, and you know, kind of goes to thank God this was a handed to me order, or this would have really been one of those orders that could have got me. So when I got back to my shopping center, as I'm pulling off the exit, I got a 1 mile $6.25 order, and obviously that was excellent. I said yes, I'll take it, and went immediately to the restaurant. It was for one of Red Robin Burger's virtual restaurants, and got the order, and I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I know the hotel. Again, stupidly, I didn't do enough research. I just looked at it, I snapped, thought I knew it, looked at the map, and of course it was not the correct hotel, or at least I thought it was the hotel I was at, but then my directions took me a different direction, interestingly enough, which is really weird. But essentially, I pick up the order, I go to the hotel, and the directions take me to a hotel that's right down the street from the correct hotel. But I didn't know this. Now, I always normally will verify the address of the hotel, but I was quite sure based on the positioning that I saw and the fact that it was sitting right next, showing on the map as sitting next to the Buffalo Wild Wings, that I was at the right place. Well, I go in, and since it was a handed to me where I had to go to the person's door. So I go to the door, knock on the door, said, hey, I've got an order for so-and-so, and so-and-so says, oh, that's my name, but that's not my last name, or my last initial. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, in fact, I ordered DoorDash, but I ordered pizza. And I'm like, are you sure you're not? And I said, no, I swear. He said, go to the front desk and tell them what's going on. I said, well, this isn't really a front desk issue. I said, but I'll call the customer, thank you very much. So I went outside, called the customer. The customer picked up, and I said, hey, sir, this is your DoorDash driver. I'm here at the hotel. Are you in room such and such? And he said, yes, but I see you on the map. You're at the wrong hotel. I said, well, what hotel are you at? And he said, I'm at hotel such and such. And I said, oh, my God. Which was the original hotel I thought it was at. I apologized profusely. I let him know, I said, your food never came out of the bag. He said, no problem, man, no problem. So I drove it over there to him real quick and dropped it off. He was very, very nice, very, very understanding. But the moral of the story is, thank God it was a handed to me order. Because had it not been a handed to me order, I would have really been up the creek. What's up, guys? Dad Dash Industries back here again with another update. So, just delivered the BJ's Brewhouse order. It was already ready when I got there. DoorDash tried to add a $6 add-on to my order going like 2.3 miles, but it was going in the absolute opposite direction to where I wanted to be heading and was going to leave me a bit far outside the pocket. I'm glad I didn't take that order because I ended up taking a Uber order on my way over here, and I'm heading now back in the same direction I was coming. It was $10.50 going like 3.5 miles. So now that was 3.5 miles from the positioning I was at when I took the order. I know it's going to be a little bit more, but then I got a little sweetener on top. I got a $6.51 sweetener on top. So that turns into a $17.01 order going about 5 miles. So excellent order if it all turns out. Of course, obviously with Uber, you never know until the end. What's up, guys? Dad Dash Industries back here again. So was waiting till we got into a little bit more of a lighted area to go over what happened there with the Uber order. So got to the Red Robin Burger. It was ready. There was no wait. Picked that up. Got to the Indian restaurant. It was ready. Got those orders out to the customers with no problems whatsoever. In fact, the Red Robin order was actually to the customer where I had my famous Uber Eats deactivation when I had my malfunction of my phone and then ended up getting temporarily deactivated. I believe it was due to a glitch. So I made my way back to the shopping center after I dropped those orders off, and I've been getting some DoorDash orders. Now, in fact, this tells you how bad it's been with the DoorDash orders. They're threatening to end my dash because I've turned down so many orders. So, anyways, not been great out there. I'm going to go ahead and resume the dash and see if we can find something. They've done this to me a couple times already today, but you got to stick to the guns. You got to just keep going and keep going and keep going, and eventually you'll find that order. Alright, what's up, guys? So I'm coming back on here. I was waiting till we got around a little bit of a more lighted area to come back on and talk to you. So I ended up taking a Wingstop order and doing a double Wingstop order. So the first order was $10.75. The second order was $6. So I'm working on a $16.75 order. And
in 800 feet, turn right on
unfortunately, there was a long wait. There was about a 12-minute wait on the orders. That one of the reasons why I stay away from Wingstop is just because of the wait. But I took it anyways and was hoping the wait wouldn't be that bad. It was. So next, I am on my way to the first drop-off. It doesn't put me necessarily in the best area. It actually finishes me off in the area where I was doing my challenge the other day with accepting every order, and that went on for an hour. But there is some areas over there to get orders. If not, I am going to head back towards my shopping center because that's the way I would go to go home. There's a lot of potential that I could get an order somewhere along the way, so we'll see what happens. But this does leave us just under about $6 or $7 under 100 for today. So that's always the first goal, is to make 100. So if we can accomplish getting $100 before 9, then that means we can go well over $100 potentially, or before 8:30 even, if we get that over 100 order next. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking now for the drop off here on this order, for this first order that I've got to drop off, and I will be back here. I think I found it. Is that it? 1, 2, no, 4, 2, 3. That's 417. So let's see. That is 423, and that's the one. All right. So I'm here, my first drop off. So I will be right back, guys. Talk to you in a minute. What's up, guys? Dad Dash back here again with a quick update here. Just made that delivery. There was, and I know you probably can't see me now. We kind of dropped off. There was a little bit of decent lighting sitting over there. But I made that delivery. It ended up being, this was the $6 part of my delivery. So this ended up being $2 base, $4 tip. And I believe, looking at the address and looking at the apartment number of the place I'm going to, I believe it's going to be actually the same apartment I dropped off to when I did the no tip, or not no tip, when I did the accept every order. So, all right, what's up, guys? So, got that order done. Got some good news to report, and as you guys are noticing, you're facing the road right now, and that's because we're in a badly lighted area, but I wanted to get this update out. So, got some extra money on my Uber order. Once again, the customer that I delivered to, they gave me extra that night when I had my problems, and they did it again tonight. So, and then the other customer gave me an extra $1. So it ended up being like an extra $3. It was like a $19 order. Really excellent order when you think about the distance and all that stuff. So very, very pleased with that. So the DoorDash orders, I just got done with those, or the final one, and no extra tip there. But we are basically about, let's see here, we need $6.44 to reach our goal today. What's up, guys? Quick update here. So ended up waiting a very, 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 very long time for an order. I'm finally back on with an order with DoorDash for $6.50 going 3 miles. I also got an offer while I was picking up this order for Uber to go like 7 miles for $8. I turned it down. I didn't like, it's a Wendy's, and this Wendy's has a lot of problems because they normally don't have a dining room open, and you got to sit through the drive-thru, and it's a long time. Anyways, maybe shouldn't have been so picky, but I've still got a little bit of ways to go. I've got 5 minutes to go to drop this off, so I'm hoping. Anyways, maybe we'll get something else. The other issue is obviously at 9:30 is when I'm going to go off and when I'm going to stop working. So probably going to end up being just over $100 today, which isn't necessarily bad. I mean, I'm going to look for a go-home order, so it'll probably be a little bit more. And now we got an Uber order, $2.50 to go to McDonald's. No way, no way, no way. So anyways, I'm on my way to drop this off. Should hopefully be there in a couple of minutes. And then, like I said, I'm going to head back towards my normal shopping center. And I'm going to try to find something going in the direction of home. And I should be wrapping it up very soon here. All right, guys, I'm back here. So got that order delivered. It went well. Gentleman was very, very nice, and it ended up with a little extra tip, a $1 extra tip. No, 75 cents extra tip, because it was a $6.50 order. So it ended up with $7.25. So we are now 81 cents over $100. So we definitely accomplished our goal. of $100 today, which is definitely great. So now the goal is to see if we can get a going home order. So I am heading now in the direction of home, and I'm going to be going past all the good shopping centers that could possibly trigger an order. So we'll see what happens. I will be back as soon as I get an order to go over what that is. We're not going to go home until we get one. That's what we're doing right now. So this will be a little bonus money extra over the $100. I was really hoping we were going to have a really, really good day today and go way over $100, but wasn't to be. We had a lot of ground to make up when we showed up for dinner, and we made it up. So obviously won't necessarily probably spec out to be the greatest day, because we made $9.25 when we got started today. So I mean, it couldn't have gone worse going into that other market, but it is what it is. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I appreciate you guys watching, hanging in there with me today, and I will talk to you soon. Guys, so DoorDash Industries back here with the recap. So we actually did not end up getting a going home order last night. It ended up being that well, you see there's two Mr. Beast orders on there. It turns out, interestingly enough, that Mr. Beast now has adjusted hours. I guess DoorDash wasn't updated, so I did wait for a while. I got those two orders. One of them I thought was going to be my going home order, specifically the 1051. And then that was when I realized it was closed, and then I was waiting to see if anything else would develop, and I got that $2.50. I was still sitting in front of Mr. Beast, so I accepted it, took a picture, processed the closure, got basically $6.50 additional for really no work at all. At that point, my wife got in touch with me, and it was just like, you know what, it's time to go. It's time to end the day. I was out late enough. So let's get into the orders here. So the first order today, as you know, the first two orders of the day were done out of market in a new market, and the experiment did not go well, but it started out a little bit promising here with a China wok order, a restaurant obviously I've never been to, which I ended up getting $2.25 base pay and a $5 tip. Now that 13 miles represented the time I turned the app on heading into the market and driving to, and I had all my apps fired up. So little extra mileage in there just because I was riding around for a bit before they found me. So I ended up with 56 cents to the mile, $7.28 tax deduction. So almost the entire order was deducted as a tax deduction. Actually, more than the order was deducted for a tax deduction. 91 cents was the actual gas mileage cost, and it was a $12.52 miles to pay ratio. 21-minute order, $20.71 projected hourly. No wait, really, 1 minute wait. So the first order looked promising, and then it took a while, as you see here, to get another order. And now, of course, there was the controversy with Uber that happened. But ultimately, it ended up taking me almost an hour to get another order in that market. It was really bad. So I settled on trying to see if we could trigger something with doing a no-tip order for the Chick-fil-A order for $2.25. No tip there. Traveled 10 miles total, because that tracked the miles from when I made that drop-off till, when I got the order and got it delivered. So I ended up with a $5.60 mileage deduction. So in that market, I ended up with more of a mileage deduction than I did with money made. And ended up with 23 cents per mile, 70 cents actual gas cost, 31.03% miles to pay ratio. 9-minute order, $15 projected hourly, no wait was the only positive. So it really shows how negative those orders really are to the bottom line. Now, after that, I traveled back to my market. So you see there's a pretty big gap there, almost another hour gap between orders. And then we got started for real and got our day started with a GrubHub order for Tony's Pizza. This order, again, had some miles that were driving miles because I kept my apps on during the entire ride in. But we ended up with a $4.29 base, $5.57 tip, 30 miles traveled because that included driving from that other market, 33 cents miles per dollar ratio. So if you're seeing that those first 3 orders were killer orders as far as cost wise. $2.09 actual cost, 21.24% miles to pay ratio, 24 minutes, 24.65 projected hourly was about the only positive thing there. And of course the weight as well, as there really was no weight at all for that order. So you see here immediately there's improvement. You can see that it only took about 12 minutes to get another order to get back in the pocket there. And I took a DoorDash Outback order for $19.50. So that ended up being a $5 base pay, $14.50 tip, and we started to actually finally start to make up a little ground here. Because of the extra miles at the end of that order, it ended up being a little higher than what was showing. But we traveled 18 miles and we start to get things back in line. There was a $10.08 mileage deduction, but it was $1.08 per mile, $1.26 actual cost, and we needed some help here on the miles to pay ratio, and it ended up being 6.44%. So 30-minute order overall, $39 projected hourly, and 2-minute wait time on that order. So really solid order there in terms of wait time, in terms of projected hourly. Now next we followed up with a Mr. Beast burger. I was on my way back in and got this one for $6.25. Ended up being a little bit of overpay there, and ended up being $2.25 and a $5 tip. Although there was 14 miles traveled, so that shows you there was some return miles from that Outback order that cost me a little bit there. And that's the story on this shift. There was a lot of miles given just some unfortunate choices I made that really amped up the mileage side of things. So $7.84 miles tax deduction value on this one, 52-cent miles per dollar, 98-cent gas mileage actual cost, and a 13.48% miles to pay ratio. So order minutes, 22 minutes, all right, $19.77 projected hourly, and there was an 8-minute wait on this order. So not the greatest of orders in the end, but then we followed up with this with a DoorDash order for BJ's Brew House, and this was a $10.25 order that turned into a $10.50 order. Got a base pay of $3, tip of $7.50. This is where we started to kind of balance some things out here. It only cost us 6 miles for this order, $3.36 tax deduction, $1.75 miles per dollar ratio, and gas mileage cost was only 42 cents, and we started to get the miles to pay back in line there with 3.99%. So it was 24 minutes on the order, $26.25 projected hourly, and only a 2-minute wait. So that order was a pretty good order overall. When we were leaving that restaurant, we got an Uber Eats stacked order for Red Robin and Sitar of India. So this can kind of be looked at again as one combined order, but I do list it separately on here just for purposes of wait time and whatnot. So you're going to see that there was extra that came in here, $12.75 instead of the original $10.25, and $7.45 instead of the original $6.45. So it was only a total, this was really nice, there was a total of only 10 miles traveled between the two orders. Tax deduction was about $5.60 between the two orders. And miles per dollar ratio, you can see the one order was $1.42, the next order was $7.45. So about a blended $6 miles per dollar ratio on that, about a blended $2 miles per, if you put the two together, because there's only 1 mile traveled between these two, which is why that's so high. But it really turned out to be about a little over $2 miles per dollar ratio there on that order. Actual gas mileage was about 70 cents for the order. And we had 0.94% on the second order and 4.93% miles to pay ratio. So it's probably closer to about 3% when you factor that in. A $24.68 projected hourly on the first order and $74.50 on the third order, or the second order. So probably a blended, it was about around $40 if you blend that together. There was really no significant waits, 2 minutes on each, so only a 4-minute combined wait time. So really good order there. So next we followed that up with a Wingstop order, and you'll see we got off that order and got right back onto the Wingstop order. There was a little bit of a delay there. You'll see that there was almost a 32-minute delay between when we got an order on that one, that we had to wait quite a while on that, which kind of slowed things down a bit. We were really had good momentum going, and then things slowed down right there. But we got this $16.75 Wingstop order. It was actually a stacked order, but because it was from Wingstop, I reflected it as just, one order in there, since it wasn't a dual restaurant order. So we traveled 16 miles. 1675 was the order. Some of that was absorbed miles from this drop off, the one from above, but we ended up with $8.96 in tax write-offable miles, $1.05 miles to pay ratio, $1.12 actual mileage cost for 6.67% miles to pay ratio. 44 minutes was spent on the order, and this was a pretty weak hourly of $22.84, especially for dinner time. And this was driven by the weight, and this really can drive the projected hourly down. It can have a big impact all around on the efficiency of your night and the profitability of your night. Wait times are huge. So next, you'll see that we had a little bit of a delay there again between orders. It was almost 20 minutes, about 6 minutes shy of 20 minutes. So about 14 minutes wait until we got the next order, which was a pizzeria. Started out at $6.50, ended up with $7.25, but you can see we had carryover miles from that Wingstop order to get back to where we could get an order, and ended up with 16 miles, ended up with an $8.96 miles tax deduction, 45-cent miles per dollar, and $1.12 actual cost for 15.41% miles to pay ratio. So very, very, as you see, the story of the night was really was heavy miles to pay ratios, and that really ends up hurting the bottom line. So we ended up with 19 minutes spent on the order. $22.89 was the projected hourly, and there was only a 4-minute wait. It came in just under 5 minutes, and that was driven because when I got in there, the guys forgot my drink, and I had to wait on them to see me again. Finally, I had to walk back to the back to get their attention. And then you're going to see these two Mr. Beast burgers, which ended up being closure orders. So these end up kind of carrying the day there in a sense on the miles per dollar. Because there we go. Because they were literally 1-minute orders. I mean, especially the second one, but I ended up with a $5.25 miles to dollar and $1.25 because literally I just put down 1 mile for each, even though there really wasn't a mile driven, just for representation purposes. Ended up with a 1.33% and 5.58% miles to pay ratio. And the time spent, of course, these are crazy projected hourlies, 105 and 37.50. There was obviously no waits on these. So that's the breakdown of the individual orders. Let's get into the actual shift stats that we had here. And it's not that, like I said, the story of the shift is those miles right there. 135 miles, $107.31 total pay, led to a 79-cent dollars per mile ratio. So very rough day when it comes to dollars per mile. Average base pay was $3.17. Average tips per delivery were $5.77. Average miles per delivery, again, very rough, 11.25 per delivery, although that's really not too bad. But it's just we didn't make enough money per delivery. Average tips per delivery was only 51 cents, and average per minute was 32 cents, which was, again, lower than what we wanted. Now the average money per order, you can see, was way down, and that was $8.94. I want that north of $10. It's got to be north of $10. And had we been north of $10, we'd have been sitting at 120, almost 125. If it would have been slightly above, we would have been sitting at the 125 very easily. The wait time was not a factor in this shift. It was only an average of 2.92 minutes. So that really was not the issue. The issue with this shift was all around the miles driven, all around the decision to go to another market. We did get over our $100 goal. So we ended up at $107.31. Our goal is always to do a minimum of $100. Now our delivery our hourly rate was $27.40. We worked 235 actual hours delivering, and we ended up with $18.94 per hour on the actual time spent working. So that was almost just under 6 hours, 5.67 hours actually spent working, for a total of 340 minutes. And you know, it was, like I said, it was not the best of days, and that decision to go to the other market really hurt us. Now the let's see here, the total cost, we spent $9, okay. And again, I need to add a section in there for the actual miles to pay for the day, but I'm going to calculate that right here live while we're doing this. 8.67% miles to pay per day. So not great in that. I mean, it was still within, you know, an okay, reasonable amount when you look at the cost of what it cost us. We want to keep it under 10%, but the ideal is to have it for the day, you know, under 5. 5 or better is excellent. Under 10 is still reasonable, and you see we still were able to make an okay profit, I think, in terms of if you're just looking at pure profitability of the shift, because it does help, as you see here, when we shift into the tax summary. So keeping that $9.42 actual gas mileage cost, because of the gas mileage situation, all right, we ended up with a net income of $95.47 versus that $107.31 total pay. Now, after gas mileage, we ended up with $86.04. So if we're taking that, our actual money earned, you know, our actual profit per hour, so to speak, profit per hour of $15.18. So not bad. I mean, that's what we took home. You know, that is not bad at all. If we were talking about when you put that on a, you know, if you're really gonna, you know, if you're gonna take that and say, let's take a W-2 job that you're making, bringing home about maybe, you know, 68 percent. That's really about a $22.32 an hour job if you were wanting to compare something like that. So not bad at all in terms of the profit. Now again, we only worked 5.8 hours for today, so that's why we only made $100. But you know, like I said, it was not a satisfactory day from the standpoint of the miles, and again, we definitely will not be heading back into that market. So guys, if you're interested, once again, if you're interested in these sheets, let me know. That tax summary is something based on my research and reading of the tax code. I'm not a tax professional, so if you do decide to use this or request these sheets, you know, take this as it is a pretty good estimation. But if you are interested in using any of these sheets that you've seen in this video, dad-13@gmail.com. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe if you can there to support the channel. And I really appreciate you watching, and I will be talking to you soon. All right, guys, thanks, and keep dashing.